It's an honor to be here today. But I love the theme, American healing. Well, first, let's think about something. Where did America come from? Have it always been America? Or was it just created to be America? Who are the real Americans? America keep changing and changing and changing. Let's go back in time when the American Indians looked like I look and roamed the southeast part of the United States freely. I love what the mayor said. We have to tell the truth. We cannot heal America till we fix the foundation. Can we start right there?
Empty out the hole down 50. Watch me hit them like 50 if the hole trying to get me. Empty out the hole down 50. Watch me hit them like 50 if the hole trying to get me. Empty out the hole down 50. Watch me hit them like 50. Blowing on that bomb, yeah, that Hiroshima. Napalm in my palm, yeah, that's that Nina. Burners on deck, yeah, we keep a heater. Hoes on deck in the four-seater. On the grind and I'm looking for a fortune. On the block, but it's hot, it's scorching. Hit the pops from the Glocks, they torching. 2 cops got shot, they aborting. Shoot the whole 50, make a forfeit. If your pocket's iffy, bitch, you can't afford this. AR-15, she look gorgeous. Spot on, get your ass out, man. Pedal to the metal, pedal to the metal, go hard, go hard. 2 hits of the blunt, then I hit the liquor. Face on stuck, that one hit a quitter. Need a bad bitch, yeah, real go-getter. Too drunk, not lit, bitch, pass me a switch. Gassing, pedal to the metal. Doing heavy drugs like I'm doing heavy metal. What you expected, we some kids from the ghetto. Shooting like Bill, put some pills in the jello. Taking shot after shot.
Crip! Which one of you bitches wanna wash my drawers tonight?
Oh, that'll be him.
Oh, okay. I wash on Sundays. Anyway, start your press. Starch, nigga.
On the block, I'll be high as giraffe fast with the Glock. I got shooters on call, they yelling like bitches on
Whole lot of gang gang shit. Whole lot of gang gang shit.
fix myself. Made a wish, done a wishing well. Let me try and fix myself. Made a wish, done a wishing well. Just wish.
Hundreds and fifties, yo. Hundreds and fifties, huh? Hundreds and fifties, huh? Hundreds and fifties, yo. Hundreds and fifties, huh? Hundreds and fifties, huh? Hundreds and fifties, huh? Hundreds and fifties, huh?
Okay. Hundreds and fifties in the strip club on my nitty gritty. I peep a bitch from the city dancing with some big ass titties. I know a bitch from 60s who be counting them hundreds and fifties. Cause she's a jack girl, caught that smack girl and she show no pity. Supposed be baffled on my ass, so I be talking rude. Activist Sierra Miss got me talking screw. Take a chance like raffle, bite that apple, fuck with dude. I'm the bestest, do not test this, Mr. Boom Coon. Big bank, a lot of clout, hoes going in and out. I'm the one who's showing routes. Can't you see I'm balling out? Big bank.
What the fuck I do to that? Probably buy my kids something, buy my baby mama fucking something. Shit. Oh shit, man, come on, man. But I'm wasting my time talking to you bum ass niggas, cuz. But Ace Boom Coon, what's up, my nigga? Saying my nigga, that's my real nigga. That's the nigga I trust for my life. Ace motherfucking Boom Coon. Been knowing that boy since I was 12 years old. He ain't never crossed me, never fucked me, never stole from me, never lied to me. Nigga, his family love me like a motherfucker. My nigga, my real nigga. I'm a G, nigga. I'm from PJ, nigga. I don't know what the fuck you young niggas got going on, but nigga, I got a trick for you, cuz. Nigga, fuck with me if you want to, nigga. Eastside PJ. Bitch ass nigga.
It's niggas that I love, it's niggas I don't trust, yeah. Niggas start to acting up when they think your cash is up, yeah. I got weed in the cup, little nigga roll it up, yeah. Got my middle fingers up, niggas cannot fuck with us, nah. I remember Ace picked us up, yeah. Ride with the pistol in the tuck, yeah. Blue rag hanging out the rear view. Pull up on your bitch, what that shit do? Couple young niggas with this shit, boy. Bet not be acting like no bitch, boy. Try presses, we don't even flinch, boy. Yeah, that money stacking up by the inch, boy.
Yes, sir. You already know what it is. You know what time it is. You already know it's that 100 talk. Get that shit right.
Keep it consistent. Do y'all thing. Keep it always 100.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100 talk with Mr. Boom Coon, man. And you already know what it is, how it's going to be. Today, we're going to do a little special today, talking about a book by our very own Monster Kody. You know what I'm saying? Cody Scott from A-Trade Gangsta. That's probably like one of the first books that I read. You know what I'm saying? It's called the autobiography of an LA gang member. It's like one of the first books I read. You know what I'm saying? My girls were, hey, you read this, and you'll like this. I liked the book because there was a lot of relations, not sex, motherfucker, but there was a lot of shit that related to me with that. So I went along and finished the book. It's a nice, healthy book. 300 308 383. 8 tray for real. You really end with 380. That little bit at the end made it 83. It could have been 82. They squeezed it in to be 8 tray. That's funny. I bet nobody knew that. That's wild. But yeah. So the book it goes by it starts him as a kid, and it talks about just how everything, man. Good points. I wish I could have re-studied it so I could have had some key points to read to you guys to find out what parts to read. But I'm gonna just read should we read the preface? Or should we just read chapter 1? Initiation. Let's read the initiation. Chapter 1, June 15, 1975. I proudly strolled across the wax hardwood stage of the auditorium at the 54th Street Elementary School under the beaming stares of my mother, aunt, and Uncle Clarence. Taking my assigned place next to Joe Johnson as we had rehearsed for a week, I felt different, older, and more attached than any of my fellow classmates. This feeling made me stand more erect, made me seem more important than my other peers on stage, even Joe Johnson, who was the king of school. Wonder why. I first sensed my radical departure from childhood when I was suspended a month before graduation, driven home by Mr. Smotherman, the principal, and not allowed to go on a grad class outing for flashing a gang sign on the school paranormal picture on the picture. Mr. Sutherland was appalled and accused me of destroying a perfectly good picture, not to mention that I was starting to show signs of moral decay. Actually, half of the things Mr. Smotherland told me I didn't catch because I wasn't listening. And besides, my mind had been made up weeks prior to having gotten caught flashing a sign on a picture. How I was expected to get away with flashing on the photograph is beyond me, but 2, it points up my serious intent even then, for I was completely sold on becoming a gang member. Now, this basically tells you how Kody Scott, Monster Kody, Shanika, how he was proud of being a gang member. You know what I'm saying? As a young kid, even he was standing next to Joe Johnson, who was supposed to be the king of the school. He felt more superior just by being a gang member. As our graduation activities bore on, my disinterest and annoyance as its silliness escalated. I was eager to get home to the hood and meet my moral obligation to a new set of friends who made Joe Johnson look weak. After the seemingly year-long graduation, my mom, aunt, and Uncle Clarence congratulated me with a lunch at Bob's Big Boy. I was the second youngest in my family of 6. Everyone's name began with a K. My brothers was Kevin, Corinne, and Kershawn. The youngest, Kim and Candice, were my sisters. My father and I never got along and couldn't understand why he mistreated me. While returning home, I sat transfixed in the side window, looking out into the streets but not seeing anything in particular. Just wishing my Uncle Clarence would have drove faster. Tonight was to be my initiation night, so he was supposed to get put on. And I didn't want to be late or miss out on any activities that might occur during my first night on duty. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the words, on duty. Bending the corner onto our block in my uncle's Monte Carlo, I sunk down in the back of the seat to avoid being seen by my white knit. I avoid being seen in my white knit suit and tie, peeking to make sure the coast was clear, I bolted past Mom's into the house, down the hall, and into my room for a quick change. And nigga probably got sued. Cortezes or what have you. So what's your damn problem, boy? Bellowed my moms from the hallway. I know you didn't think you're going out anywhere until you had cleaned up that funky room and taken out the trash, and I never heard the rest. I was out the window and in the wind, screaming towards my destiny on the only thing this life could ever held my attention for any serious length of time. The streets. Stopping once, I gotten around the block and collect my coolness. I met with Trey Ball, who had accepted my membership and agreed to sponsor me in. What's up, cuz? Trey Ball extends his very dark, muscular vein hand. Ain't nothing. I responded, trying to hide my utter admiration for this cat who quickly becoming a ghetto star. A ghetto star is a neighborhood celebrity known for gangbanging, drug dealing, and so on. So what's up for the night? Am I still on? What? Yeah, you on. As we walked to the shack in silence, I took a full advantage of the stairs we were getting from onlookers who couldn't seem to make the connection between me and Trey Ball, the neighborhood hoodlum. I took their looks and stares and recognitions and respect. At the shack, which was actually a back house behind Trey Ball's house, I met Ham Huckabuck, who was a dark, athletic, very physical, and an awesome fighter. He came to California from New York, accent included. For the most part, he was quiet. Leprechaun, who was called Lep, was there. I had known him for prior to this, and he went to school with my older brother. Lep had a missing front tooth and a slight build. Fiercely loyal to Trey Ball, Lep stood to be second in command. Then there was Fly, who dressed cool with an air of style, light complexion and handsome. He was a ladies' man, not necessarily vicious, but was gaining a reputation by the company he kept. Next was GC, who stood for Gangsta Cool. Gangsta Cool was possibly the most well-off member present, meaning he had things our parents could not afford to give us. He gangbanged in Stacey Adams shoes. What's your name, homeboy? Huckleback asked from across the room through a cloud of marijuana smoke. Kody. My name is Kody. Kody. There's already somebody named Kody from the 90s. I already knew this from hearing his name. Yeah, but my real name is Kody. My mother named me that. Everyone looked at me hard, and I squirmed under their stares, but I held my ground. To flinch now would possibly mean expulsion. What? Huck said in disbelief. Your mother names you Kody? Yeah, no shit, I replied. Righteous. Fuck it. Then we'll be back. Then we'll back you with it. But you gotta put work in. Put in work means the military mission to hold it. Cause that's a hell of a name. Fly piped up from his relaxed posture in the armchair. I'm gonna put some work in tonight for the set. We know, Lep replied. We know. GC, who was dressed like a gas station attendant in blue khakis with a matching shirt, and I stared out to steal the car. All eyes were on me tonight, but I felt no nervousness, and there was no hesitation in any of my actions. This was a rite of passage to manhood, and I took every order as seriously as an African would in my initiation ritual from childhood to manhood. So you see how he's relating getting put on the set, you know what I'm saying, to becoming a man. Now all of us that been in the streets, we all know that being a gang member doesn't make you a man. But this is just his view as a kid as he talking on it. You feel me? 1 second. 1 second. So I can see the comments too. Dirty dude, salute, salute, salute. So back on his to initiation, man. He getting put on. GC was an expert card thief among the set. Gone in 60 seconds could have very well been patterned after him. He had learned his technique from Maryland, one of our older homegirl who had kept at least 2 stolen cars on hand. Tonight we were out to get an ordinary car, possibly a 65 Mustang, 68 Cougar. These I learned could be hot wired from the engine with as little as clothes hanger touching the alternator than the battery. I remember that. The only backdraw is where the gas gauge and radio and horn would not work, and the car will only run until the alternator burned out. That's nice to see. Nevertheless, we found a Mustang, blue and very sturdy. GC worked to get the hood up, and I kept pointing with a .38 revolver. I was instructed to fire on any light in the house and anyone attempted to stop us from getting the car. I paced in a tight to and fro motion, watching closely for any sign of movement from any of the house, or yard, or shrubbery flanking in the house. I was a perfect sentry for had any movement occur, any light flashed on, I would have exited 6 rounds into that area, if not the person. I actually only had fired a real gun once, and that was into the air. Under the cloak of darkness, I heard GC grunt once and then lifted the hood. It took him longer to unlatch the hood than to start the car. The engine turned once, then twice, and finally it caught the roar of the road to the looking for the first time in his newborn child. We slap hands in a gesture of success and jump in the whip. Wow. Pulling out of the driveway, I noticed a light turned on, and I believed to be the kitchen. I reached for the door handle with every intent of shooting into that house, but GC grabbed my hand and said, "Don't sweat it. We got the car now." That nigga was ready. On the way back to the shack, I practiced my mad dog. Stares on the occupants of the cars beside us at stoplights. I guess I wasn't too convincing because on more than few occasions I was laughed at. And I also got a couple of smiles in return. This was definitely an area to be worked on. He was trying to mad dog and they was laughing at him. You know what I'm saying? At the shack, we smoked pot and drank beer and geared up for the mission, which still had not been disclosed to me, but I was confident in my ability to pull it off. I have never ever felt as secure as I did in the presence of these cats who was growing fonder of me, and it seemed with each successive level of drunkenness they reached. "Cuz you're going to be down, watch," Lep pronounced as if telling a son in law school he would be a great lawyer. He stood over me and continued, "I remember your with the real motherfuckers and tear shit up, huh?" His tone was probing but approving. He was talking with the heated passion and the power of a general father. "Stand up. Get your little ass up. How old is you now anyway?" 11. But I'll be 12 in November. Damn, I never thought about being too young. At this time, I stood up in front of Lep and never saw the blow to my head come from Huck. Bam! And I was on all floors, struggling for equilibrium. Kicked in the stomach, I was on my back, counting stars in the blackness. Grabbed by the collar, I was made to stand again. A solid blow to my chest exploded pain, and my bold red letters on the blank screen that I had become my mind. Bam! Another and another. Bam! Blows rain on me from every direction. I felt like a pinball. I knew now that if I went down again, I'd be kicked. And from the way that last kick felt, I was almost certain that GC had kicked me with his pointed Stacey Adams. Up until this point, not a word had been spoken. I had heard about being courted in. Courted in means to be accepted through a barrage of tests, usually physical. This can include shooting people or jumped in. But somehow, in my still childish mind, I had envisioned it to be a noble gathering, paperwork, and arguments about my worth and ability in regard to valor. In the heat of desperation, I struck out, hitting Fly full in the chest, knocking him back. Then I started swinging with no style or finesse, just anger and the intent to survive. Of course, this did little to help my physical situation, but it showed the others that I had a little will to live. And this turned my reflected my ability to represent the set in a hand-to-hand combat. The blows stopped abruptly, and the sound of breathing filled the air. My ear was bleeding, my neck and face was deep red, but I was still standing. When I think about it now, I realize that it wasn't necessarily my strength that kept me on my feet, but the ways in which I was hit. Before I could sag or slump, I was hit and lifted back up to standing. Trey Ball came in and immediately recognized what had taken place. Looking hard at me, then at the others, he said, "It's time to handle this shit. They're out there." In the flash, Lep was under the couch retrieving weapons, guns I never knew were there. Two 12-gauge shotguns, both sawed off, one pump action, the other single shot. A 410 shotgun, also a single shot, and a 44 Magnum that had no trigger guard and broke open to load. Damn. GC was now in possession of the 38 I held earlier. "Give Kody the pump," Trey Ball's voice echoed over the clanging of steel chambers opening and closing, cylinders turning, and the low hum of music in the background. "Check this out," Trey Ball sparked with the calm of a football coach. "Kody, you got 8 shots. You don't come back with the car unless they're all gone." "Righteous," I said, eager to show my worth. "These fools have been hanging out for 4 days now, hitting people up. Hitting people up mean asking where they from. Example, which gang are they down with? Flagging and disrespecting every Crip in the world, you know." I sat straight back and hung on every word Trey Ball said. "Tonight, we're going to rock they world." Hand slaps were passed around the room, and then Lep spoke up. "If anybody get caught for this, ride the beef, cause ain't no snitching here." Head nods and looks of firmness were exchanged, and then the moment of truth. We piled into the Mustang, Trey Ball driving, and without a gun. Lep sat next to Trey Ball with the old ugly 44. Huck directly behind Lep held the 410 between his legs. Fly next to him held the sawed off single shot 12 gauge. I sat next to him with the pump, and GC was on my left with his 38. In silence, we drove block after block north into the enemy territory. "There they go," Lep said, spotting the gathering of about 15 people. "Damn, they deep too. Look at them fools." Looked at my enemy and thought, tonight is a night, and I'll never stop until I've killed them all. After driving down another block, we stopped and got out, each checking his weapons, mine being the most complicated. We started out on foot to rid the world of bloods, brims, in particular. Stealthily, we crept up to where the gathering had assembled to promote their set's ideology. Trey Ball sat idle in the car and was to meet us halfway after we had worked over the enemy. Hanging close to buildings, houses, and bushes, we made our way one after another to within spitting distance of the Bloods. Our strategy was to just jump out and shoot, but on the way, Lep made the point that the single shots should go first. Then I would follow suit with the 8 shots, Lep with 5 shots and the 4-4, and GC with the 6 shots and the 38. Huck and Fly stepped from the shadows simultaneously and were never noticed until it was too late. Boom, boom. Heavily bodies hitting the ground. Confusion, yells, and dismay. Running, and then a second wave of gunfire. By my 6th shot, I had advanced past the first fallen Bloods and into the street in pursuit of those who had sought refuge behind cars and trees. Forgetting everything, I completely threw myself into battle. A Blood who had seemingly gotten away tried to make one last dash from the safe area of a car to, I think, a porch. I remember raising my weapon and him looking back. For a split second, it was as if we communicate on another level, and I understood who he was. Then I pulled the trigger and laid him down. With 1 shot left, I jogged back to the initial site of the contact, knowing fully that I had explicit order not to return with any rounds of my weapon. I turned and fired on the house before they originally stood. Not 20 spaces later, Trey Ball stepped and stood, and we piled into the frightfully amps from the climax of battle. But in the shack, we smoked more pot and drank more beer. I was the center of attention for my acts of aggression. Man, did you see this little motherfucker out there? Fly said to Huck with the air of disbelief. Yeah, I saw him. I knew he was going to be down. I knew it. And shut up, man. Just shut the fuck up. Because he can still tell on us all. Silence rang heavily in my ears, and I knew I had to respond to Lep's reaction. If I get caught, I'll ride the beef. I ain't no snitch. Although my little statement lessened the tension, Lep's word had almost been sober in effect. Trey Ball announced my full membership and congratulations were given from all. It was the proudest moment of my life. Trey Ball told me to stay after the others had left. I milled around, still high from the battle, and thought of nothing else but putting in work for the set. Check this out, Trey Ball said. You got a potential cause because you eager to learn. Banging ain't no part-time thing. It's full-time. It's a career. It's being down, and when ain't nobody else down with you. It's getting caught and not telling. Killing and not caring. And dying without fear. It's love for your set and hate for your enemy. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, I hear you. I said, and I heard him and never forgot nothing he said from that point on. Also, from that point on, Trey Ball became my mentor, friend, confidant, and closer comrade. He allowed me acts of aggression that made my name soar with alarming effects. That was his initiation. Bump Capone. What page you on? Man, I was on page 13 or something. But yeah, man. It's just showing you how bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you know what I'm saying, he was. Yeah. Concerning the beef. He wanted to be a gang member. Like at 11 years old. At 11, I showed y'all pictures. When I was showing pictures earlier, I showed you a picture of a young cat. These are young guys. That's what age it starts. Imagine 11-year-old right there, a little tall one. The one in the middle look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Look at the other one. Look like a little foreign Nipsey. But these are young cats who are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to the gang life. You know what I'm saying? It's like a game. He said he want to kill. He ain't gonna stop till he kill all his enemies. You know, that's a psychopath way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And then you grow up. You know what I'm saying? You become older gang members. You know what I'm saying? It's back in the day. This is back in the Kody day. Kody in them days. How this book going? You know, so many of us, and we think it's just so many of us, and we're just killing each other. They couldn't lock us all up. They had to, man. I don't think it almost like they didn't even plan it. We were just killing ourselves. You can't blame nothing on nobody master plan. Yeah, after they saw what we was doing, they made it easier for us to go to jail and kill each other. Yeah, but with the music and all this stuff, but we initiated it, doing it first. They didn't make us sell the drugs to each other and make us get the gang territory. They made us get gangs to protect each other. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Hey, these the guns, there was a lot of guns seized, man, in this gang fire, this gang activity, man. It's a lot of gang activity that goes on in LA and everywhere else, you know. Make sure y'all go read that Monster Kody book. It's a good read. Those who haven't read it before, I think you'll be much obliged to go ahead and read it. I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I can go chapter after chapter, and the ambush by now. Wars was raging out of control. Yeah, see, it's boys to man. Yeah, I wanted to read certain parts in here, man. It's a lot of war activities in this book. A lot of stuff that was that I related to. That's why I fucks with this book. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna be doing too much, and I'm reading on it though, man. But y'all go check it out. Monster Kody, called Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member by Shanika Shakur, aka Kody. OG Monster Kody. When we was younger, we used to always talk about OG Monster Kody. Before I ever knew about the book, he was known. I've known him. That's crazy. Known about him. We used to hear his name a lot. Oh, that nigga Monster Kody. But yeah, man. Y'all go get that. Check it out. Read it. I fuck with y'all like y'all fucks with me. On this 100 talk. If y'all want to come on the stage, y'all can come on, man, and join live in the panel, man. I ain't doing too much. If y'all don't want to, don't motherfucking shit. But if you do want to come join the chat, come do it. I ain't gonna hold you to it. You feel me?
Let me see who else is live first. Let me see nobody else live. Nope. Nope. Ain't nobody else live with me. So yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out that autobiography of a gang member, man. That shit is super dope. It's just more history, man. If you kind of confused on a lot of things, it tells you about a lot about the gang. This book was just like, man, because I read it and I was like 17 already, so I was already doing shit. But man, when I read that book, I was like, okay, all right, I fucks with it. Like every chapter. I mean, this the cold part when he telling the story. One time he was telling the story. He was young. Still, a lot of stories he was young. I think it was about 14, 15 in this story, I think. But telling the story, he was in a store with his moms. And he saw an enemy and shit. And he had to draw down in the store on the enemy, with his moms in there. Like, I'm like, damn. And that was wild. I stopped going to the store. My mom was like, yeah, mom. Nah, I ain't trying to let nobody know who my mom's is. And I ain't trying to put moms in no danger. I would never hear the end of it, of course. But yeah, man. Y'all go check that shit out. What the fuck is all that? Who had barbecue? I gotta throw this shit away. Yeah, twisting up that good. Play a little Draco while y'all wait. Our comrade from the half. Game, I like this game member song. We some gangbangers, turn rich niggas. That's what Crip nigga. Everything I'm popping out, we gotta stand up with a built-in switch. Look, baby, put a box on this G-Lock. We in LA, still running ops out the G-Locks. And blue person, trying to strip him out of G-Shot. R&B the shooter, over her, CUB's out. Crip hopping in 600, put my feet up. I lay zipper fatal, can you please turn the speed up? And it's saying, if I'm missing, he can beat up. Spinning in that riff, and if I'm missing, he can beat up. I'm married to the game, and this nigga signing pre-nuts, script for the fame, nigga play fire, getting teed up. Go in with the shell catch in the coolie kick step, only watch you stretch on me and make flip. I'm solid, watch me walk down with the booty cut 100 pounds to 1,000 pounds. I got my youngest nigga, gang bang, nigga, big chain slinger, name changer in the big scenes. Mr. Heartbreaker, has a better than a pay. I said, bitch, I have to act, and I still like her, this bitch, I'm paying fast. Listen, nice bringers, better maintain before we aim at you, gang bang. And out of Range Rover, still a chain snatch. You hang on the block, we bang outside like we ain't famous. So we some gangbangers, turn rich niggas. We some gangbangers, turn rich niggas. Yeah, we some gangbangers, turn rich niggas. We some gangbangers, turn rich niggas. Ain't nothing but some gangbangers, Turn rich niggas. We some gang members. Turn rich niggas. Hop about that big body, look like I hit. But you keep your money in. All I know is go hard, it's a go yard for the FNN. They just seen us running in. This shit getting fun again. Before we take a loss, we take y'all, nigga, we fuck with. Niggas in the soft, just lost on y'all, just for the grand. My niggas really be tossing about 10, 20, 30, 40 grand. The club on shit underhand. Got every bitch up in this bitch coming out they underpants. Cause we some gang bangers. Rich niggas.
We some gangbangers turn rich niggas. I just hit 100 in a new foreign. Fly fresh, feel like I'm a newborn. Bad bitch thinking like she do porn. Newborn. Do porn. Lukewarm. New form. Feel like I'm a newborn. She do porn. Play ball, I'ma keep scoring. Bought a bag full of money, bitch, I need more. Fucking bags of the money off in Neiman Marcus. Pull that jag up, I'm hopping out, ain't even parking. Hop on pockets looking like I smuggle Nicky Parker. Cartier shit. Days on like we getting darker. Getting darker. Lanes gone, niggas getting smarter. Getting smarter. I'm a shooting guard, Vince Carter. I can bump up any bitch, even Trump daughter. So you better get that bitch right. Get a lump out her. Try to act me like you lit, you sniffing gunpowder. If it ain't bottle bag, then bitch, I don't know nothing about it. I just hit 100 in that new form. Fly fresh, bitch, I feel like I'm a newborn. Fly bitch with me, do it like she do porn. Hot mess when I'm in this bitch, I look for it. I just hit 100 in that new form. Fly fresh, bitch, I feel like I'm a newborn. Fly bitch with me, do it like she do porn. Hot mess when I'm in this bitch, I look for it. No cap, bitch, I'm ballin' like I do sports. I don't give a bitch brain, cause I'm no dork. Poke a bitch when I'm sharp on my whole fork. Ice on my body, cause I'm hot on my whole tour. I'ma blow a bag like a deep rap, fast money. Bitch, playing checkers, we ain't playing chess. On the bag, like I'm Conrad, but I ain't from the set. Don't play with me, bitch, I get checks, I don't get checks. We away, fall in that pussy like I'm dying. Hey.
Put a light-skinned bitch in her feelings.
Hey.
I'm that nigga, been that nigga, like what more can I say? I hit it more than once,
But I'm one take J. In a new form. I'm a newborn. Lukewarm. New form. Feel like I'm a newborn. She do porn. Lukewarm.
I'm about a bag, even niggas is the opposite. You get a low cash, boy, I get a lot of it. Fly fresh, make my nigga more drippy. I don't wanna fuck your bitch, cause a bitch act Mickey. Even though she keep a secret like she Vicky. Had to knock a bad bitch up cause I'm picky. Niggas mad and they always want drama. Fuck your kids, little nigga, and your
Ugly baby mama.
We gon' leave a pussy hanging like Osama. I'ma get a bitch hope like Obama. She gon' eat it all up like a piranha. I don't fuck with snakes, no face or iguana.
What you about? I just hit 100 in that new form. Fly fresh, bitch, I feel like I'm a newborn. Fly bitch with me, do it like she do porn. Hot mess when I'm in this bitch, I lukewarm. I just hit 100 in that
Lukewarm.
fly fresh, bitch, I feel like I'm a newborn. Fly bitch with me, do it like she do porn. Hot mess when I'm in this bitch, I lukewarm.
Got Bel Air, baby. Bel Air, baby. Yeah. What up, though, man? Y'all about to roll with me to go smoke? You know, smoking. Look like Spider-Loc in the black box. He don't look like Spider-Loc in the black box. SPI, I see you, SPI. I gotta just put my light. I don't know if I can just make. I can do it like this. Make it. There you go. So it won't be so dark.
That's how I tried. I tried to get it like that, so it would just be like right in my face. That's how I tried to get it like there or something like that. Hit it once, but not one take, Jay. I just hit 100 in a new form. Fly fresh, like I feel like I'm a newborn. Fly bitch, do me like she do porn. And y'all can't even see my little thing that say live, man. I'm gonna have to fix all this shit. See, it's supposed to go like right here. Alright, let's see. There we go. That say live. That's better. I'm gonna start putting that right there. Because you can see it better if it say live right there. But anyway, let's pull to the curb real quick. Oh shit, look at him. Let's do a little backdrop real quick. Yeah. So hey, nobody wanted to come up to the panel. What the hell everybody at? Yes, it was right, man. Don't nobody fuck with Ace. Ace be pulling up to people's shit. Niggas don't pull up to Ace shit. That's because Ace don't be with the YouTube beefing and shit. Send me a link to the book. Shit, a link to the book? I'll see. I got you. I got you. But if you just Google Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member, just put Monster, the game banging book, it's gonna pop right up. And I don't know the book. They have people, the young kids reading it in LA. It's cool, but I don't think they should have did that because at a young mind, you just be excited about the game banging. Still, you don't see the message in the book. You know what I'm saying? Especially as the book progressed. But, I was kind of like whatever already. I was working and all that when I was reading it. So I already went through that shit. Highly relatable. Highly relatable. Lou John John. Who is Lou John John? Yeah, man. So, hey, y'all watching the Twisted Metal is hard, man. That Twisted Metal series, that shit hard. It's on Hulu. I mean, not on Hulu. That shit on Peacock. Yeah, man. Yeah, though, man. A lot of the war that the gang war, man, in LA, man. Look at these guys. Back in the day when they had these shits. She must have opened up the damn door. Remove that real quick. Probably looking for me. Whew. That Bel Air champagne, champagne, that champagne. I think other gang members should, older gang members should write books. I think guys that lived in gang neighborhoods and didn't join the gang, they should write books. Uh, Everybody on all aspects of life should write, because everybody has a story. You feel me? And some people's stories are like this. You know what I'm saying? And some people's are not. Some people started at an age like this. Some people might have started at an age like this. Hope you didn't start at an age like this. Heck no. Look at these old, yeah, a whole lot of Crip and blood going on. But if y'all want y'all gang members to be, nah, let me stop. It's Bone Coon, man. Bone Coon 100 talk. It's not really after dark. It's just 100 talk. And we chilling, man. Remember who you are, who they want us to be. This who you are, my warriors. This who you are, my warriors. That's who they want us. That's who they want us to be. Never forget who we are, though. You know what I'm saying? As this book will progress. You guys make sure y'all read this. Read it, get enlightened. Because you have to miss, especially if you're from out of state. If you're out from out of state and you're really curious on how the real gang life was, read the book. I ain't saying no stories. I got stories of homies who ain't even here no more, but I don't even want to tell their stories. I don't know. Ever since somebody who at T.I., since somebody got mad at T.I. for telling on his homie who died already, I'm like, well, shit, man. You can't tell on somebody who's dead, who can't even go to jail. I ain't saying no story. I ain't saying telling no stories about nothing. Unless I was solo bolo by myself. You feel me? Other than that, I ain't doing it. Facts. But yeah, man. It's going down. Rest in peace, though, man. While we talking about him, rest in peace to Monster Kody, Shanika. We're gonna go in there, YouTube. I'm gonna go play a video. Get back to the computer right now. I'm gonna play a video of Monster Kody. You know, he recently died last year, 2 years ago, something like that. So yeah, a lot of the OGs that was here before and left stories is coming upon time now. You got Big Tookie Williams. He was writing kids books. Cook and leave. Yeah, let's play some videos about Monster Kody. Let me add him back in there. We live, baby. We in the toolbox. We in the tool shed. What's it called? Tool shed. We gotta get a name for it. For this little spot. Why are you trying to bite Spider Low? Why are you trying to have a name for your spot like the black box? Cause I want to, man. Now, how about that? Look like I got enough battery. There you go. Oh shit! All right. Where's my mouse at? I ain't there. Fuck! Can't use my mouse. What? Let's do this number right here. Fuck. Damn. I don't know what that was just now. Why is this shit not on? That's that. The reason that shouldn't be on. It just pooped all the way out. Damn. Anyway, look like my light just went out. I'm gonna have to make this light brighter then. Here we go, like this. So I'm gonna do it like this then. I'm gonna just work it like this. I can't see them put it a little farther so y'all can see the live part. I'm gonna have it like right there. Like right there. You can still see live. Something like that. But anyway. Yes, it's coming together. It's coming together, man. It's coming together. Hey, salute to rest in peace, Monster Kody, man. King, what up, man? Salute, man. Talking about Monster Kody, man. About to play a couple of his before he passed away videos. You know what I'm saying? He was on his shit. He was a smart man. You know what I'm saying? He just made some dumb decisions, like a motherfucker. But this is Menace to South Central. As United Gangs. Cody was on Kev Mack. You can talk to him. Let's go to Kev Mack. Ain't gonna take my video. Kev Mack fuck with me, man. Let me see. Here you go, right here.
I was produced by a certain climate in a certain area in certain dirt. Man, in the tropics of destitution, this is where I was produced, which is where other plants before me were produced. And we just came up as cactuses. And we didn't need much what everybody else needed. You didn't have to water us, but every 3 years. I mean, we just existed in a fucking desert of nothing. but just poverty and just our elders not understanding that just something was going on with us as people. We couldn't articulate it. I don't think the cats before us could, because the way they reacted, it was not just in rebellion to the system and the pigs and the whole American thing, but it was also in rebellion to the Panthers, who had established something that was about unity. So these young cats, the Keyways, and then eventually the Damus, these was now the front line vanguard of me. But not just that, out of this area on the west side of South Central, connecting streets to Florence and Normandy. This little area right here was really the command center of the West Side Crips. St. Andrews Park was the center of the West Side Crips Park. The H-Rays inherited that. This shit that the H-Rays got, that we got now, that we've been fighting 60s for 40 years, man. We inherited. The war with the 90s was inherited to us through our relations with the Hoovers, but also as a consequence of us claiming St. Andrews Park. St. Andrews Park never got along with Sportsman Park. You look particularly atrocious, like they'll say, today, Kody Scott murdered 12 people and was captured. But they'll show me coming out of court and I'll be saying to my wife, hey, babes, I'll talk to you tomorrow. But they'll slow it down there and it'll look like this. And then they'll be saying, and Kody Scott killed 12 people and he's been captured. You see it, they'll make you, so your visual ain't lining up with what you're hearing, but the hearing is more evil.
Monster Kody Scott, a menace to South Central LA. Kody Scott, known by his street name Monster, emerged as a figure of infamy within society due to his involvement in gang-banging activities in Los Angeles. Born in 1963, Scott joined the 8-Tray Gangster Crips at a young age, engaging in a life of violence and crime. He was notorious for his ruthless reputation, participating in gang conflicts, drug trade, and numerous shootings. However, after serving time in prison, he underwent a remarkable transformation, renouncing his gang affiliations and dedicating himself to advocating against gang life. Scott's autobiography, Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member, shed light on his past and became a catalyst for his work as an anti-gang activist and interventionist. But how did Kody Scott's life unfold, leading him to become a notorious gangster known as Monster? What circumstances and experience shaped his journey into the heart of Los Angeles? Childhood was marked by challenging circumstances and difficult family. In 1970, the strained relationship between Ernest and Bertie Scott reached its breaking point, leading to their divorce. Following their separation, Ernest Scott would visit the family on weekends, but still showed a lack of affection towards young Kody. 2 years later, in 1972, Kody's mother made the decision to move the family to a house on West 69th Street in Denker Avenue, a crime-ridden neighborhood. With the separation, Bertie became the sole provider for her children, working multiple jobs to make ends meet. This left young Kody unsupervised and exposed to the realities of life on the streets. Initially, Kody had no intentions of joining a gang, but after being assaulted by older schoolmates who forcibly took his lunch money, his perspective began to shift. Seeking a sense of belonging and protection, Kody found himself drawn to his neighbor, Stanley Tookie Williams, who happened to be the leader of the West Side Crips street gang. He spent more time with Tookie and the members of the West Side Crips and became increasingly influenced by their way of life. And as he developed deeper into the gang culture, he learned about their unwritten rules, the hierarchy within the gang, and the risks and rewards associated with their active sense of identity and purpose, fueling his descent into a life of crime. Early entry into the 8-Tray gangster created his first murder. In addition, he had to endure a brutal physical beating by other members of the gang as a test of his loyalty and toughness. Abandoning his education, Scott embraced a life of crime, violence, and illicit activities. He fought alongside disputes were settled with bullets rather than words. One incident that solidified his fearsome image occurred when he attempted to rob an African-American man walking through the neighborhood. However, the tables turned when the man defiantly punched Scott in the face, catching him off guard. In the chaos, one of the gang members intervened, physically restraining the man to prevent his escape. Kody unleashed a relentless assault on the man, subjecting him to kicks and stomps that lasted approximately 20 minutes. This attack left the man in a coma, permanently disfiguring his face. Word of this shocking incident quickly spread among the Crips, and the police officers at the crime scene were overheard referring to whoever committed such an act as a monster. This information made its way back to Scott, and from that point onwards, he became known as Monster among his fellow ETGs, embracing the name as his street moniker. Scott became notorious, and his involvement in gang activities escalated. He participated in various criminal acts, including drug dealing, robberies, and assault, shootings, and hospitalization. The first arrest occurred in a fast food restaurant. The incident occurred while Shakur and fellow Crips members were en route to a roller skating rink in Compton, California. Despite his innocence, Scott found himself behind bars again, facing the grim reality of the criminal justice system. 9-month term at Camp Munn gang war, where he had been responsible for shooting and attacking many members of the Rollin' 60s. During the ambush, he was shot 6 times, but miraculously survived. He had to spend several weeks in the hospital, fighting for his life and trying to recover from the physical and emotional trauma he had endured. After he was released from the hospital, he organized retaliatory missions and recruited more members to the Crip gang-related activities. He was arrested and sentenced to a 7-year term at Chino State Prison. During his time behind bars, he met a Muslim leader named Muhammad, who introduced him to the teachings of Islam. Intrigued by the sermons and inspired by the newfound meaning he found in the teachings, Scott began embracing Islam. After serving 4 years, Scott was released from prison in 1988, and he returned to his neighborhood. He decided to Scott remained in contact with Muhammad, who was still incarcerated. Despite Muhammad's positive influence, Scott remained in contact with Muhammad. Who was still incarcerated. Despite Muhammad's positive influence on him through their shared faith, Scott found it difficult to fully abandon the gang lifestyle that had become deeply ingrained in his identity. 3 years after his release, Scott found himself back in trouble with the law. He was arrested for assault and grand theft auto, having beaten up a crack dealer who turned out to be a police informant and stealing his van. This led to a 7-year prison sentence in one of California's most notorious institutions, Pelican Bay. Considered a threat to security, he was placed in solitary confinement, enduring 23 hours a day alone. From monster to advocate. It was during this isolating period that Scott embarked on a profound personal and political transformation. He delved into a journey of self-discovery, moving away from a criminal mentality and seeking a deeper understanding of himself. In a symbolic act, he changed his name from Monster Kody to Shanika Shakur, which translated to unifier and gatherer of people. Shakur recognized the destructive nature of gang violence within the Crips and aimed to unite all Crips gangs, leading him to join CCO, Consolidated Crip Organization. CCO advocated against inter-Crip violence and worked towards peace instead of engaging in conflicts with blood gangs. After a few years, he left CCO and became involved with the Black nationalist New African Independence movement, renouncing his gang membership in favor of a revolutionary path. He dedicated his life to the liberation of New Africans, striving for their freedom and empowerment. While still incarcerated in maximum security, Shakur wrote his book, The Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member, which was published in 1993. The book provided a raw and unfiltered look into the brutal realities of gang life. Shakur openly discussed his involvement in various crimes and murders, expressing remorse for the path he had once believed was necessary to save his neighborhood. The Monster resonated deeply with readers, selling over 300,000 copies in the United States and earning more than $800,000. The book offered a stark glimpse into the harsh realities of gang life, shedding light on its destructive nature. Through his memoir, Shakur revealed his personal growth, regret, and the realization that true salvation lay not in violence, but in uplifting his community. After his release in 1995, Shakur became a prominent figure, with his name making headlines and requests pouring in for interviews and appearances. In the years that followed, Shakur utilized his platform to advocate for the end of violence within gangs. He has also spoke passionately about the struggle for independence, freedom, and socialism among new Africans. Being in the public eye came with its problems. Although he had left gang life behind, Shakur had to be cautious and watch his back. The police kept a close eye on him, hoping to find any reason to bring him back into custody. He tried to live a normal life, even recording a rap song and meeting Tupac Shakur. Unfortunately, his drug addiction made it difficult for him to stay on the right track. Sadly, his once resounding message of unity began to fade into silence. In 2007, Shakur found himself sought by police again for parole violations and was listed amongst the top 10 most wanted gang members. It was alleged that he broke into the home of an acquaintance, assaulted him, and stole his car. He was later sentenced to solitary confinement for 6 years in a state prison. And despite this setback, he managed to release his fictional publication, Thug Life, in 2008 while still in prison. He served 2/3 of his sentence and was released in August 2012. Following his release, Shakur was forced to leave Los Angeles County and settle in another part of South Central California. He embraced a new identity as a new African nationalist and revolutionary, advocating for land, independence, and socialism. Remarkably, none of his children followed in his gang-related footsteps, and many of his former associates have either been imprisoned for life or lost their lives. Death of Shanika Shakur. Shakur's life ended on June 6, 2021, when he was discovered deceased in a tent within a homeless encampment in Oceanside, California. The cause of his untimely passing was determined to be a stroke, as confirmed by the San Diego County Coroner's Office. While his physical presence may no longer be among us, Shakur's legacy lives on. His struggles, triumphs, and the impact he made on those who knew his story continue to resonate. The memory of his determination to overcome adversity and his unwavering pursuit of a better world will forever be etched in our hearts and minds.
Keep it consistent, do y'all thing, and keep it always 100.